Have you ever felt like you are carrying an invisible weight that only grows heavier each day, no matter how much you try to rest? Does your exhaustion feel deeper than just a lack of sleep? Traditional advice often fails to reach this depth. Many people believe that they should simply push through or take a single weekend off, but this often makes the exhaustion even worse. Why do standard recovery methods often leave us feeling more depleted? There is a different path hidden within your sensitivity. You can transform your inner pain into a quiet strength by leaning into your sensitivity rather than fighting against your own nature. Can your greatest vulnerability actually become your most stable source of power? In this video you will discover a specific method. In this video you will learn a gradual recovery approach that will help you build lasting resilience and calm strength every single day. Are you ready to rebuild your life on a foundation of peace? Let us explore why our energy feels so frozen. When we reach the point of total overload, our energy feels frozen in place, making even the smallest task feel like a mountain. Why does life feel like it is on pause during burnout? The first step out is understanding the silence. This silence is not a sign of weakness, but a protective shield that your mind has built to survive the constant noise. Is your brain actually trying to save you by shutting down? But staying in this shield forever has its costs. We often mistake this protection for failure, but acknowledging the need for safety is where your true recovery finally begins. What if you stopped fighting your exhaustion and started listening to it? Let us look at the signs of this deep depletion. Deep depletion shows up as a heavy fog, where thoughts are slow and the world outside feels distant and entirely overwhelming. Do you feel like you are moving through thick water every day? This fog is a symptom of a system in crisis. The crisis happens when the demands of your life exceed the capacity of your nervous system to process them effectively. Is your world simply too loud for your system to handle? Recovery starts with reducing the volume of the world. By understanding these signs, we can stop the cycle of repeated setbacks and begin a journey that is actually sustainable. Are you ready to break the cycle of starting and failing? Now we will examine why common rest is not enough. We often think that sleeping for 12 hours or scrolling through a phone is rest, but for a burnt-out brain, this is just more noise. Why do you still feel exhausted after a full night of sleep? True rest requires a different kind of internal environment. When your system is stuck in a state of high alert, even quiet moments feel like a threat, keeping your heart rate and your thoughts racing. Is your body still fighting a battle that ended long ago? We need to signal to the brain that it is safe. The first practical step is the 2-minute sensory silence technique, where we close off the world to let the nervous system breathe. Can just 2 minutes of specific silence change your entire day? Let us practice this micro step together right now. Close your eyes and imagine a soft mist rising, gently dissolving the outlines of your room until only your breath remains. Do you feel the weight of the world starting to lift? This simple pause creates a crack in the wall of stress. In this moment of micro-recovery, your brain begins to shift from a state of survival to a state of observation and healing. What if healing was happening in the silence between your thoughts? But why does the fog return so quickly afterward? The fog returns because your brain is still wired to look for danger, even when you are trying your best to move forward. Why does your mind keep pulling you back into the shadows? To change this, we must look deeper into our biology. Your nervous system is like a finely tuned instrument that has been played too loud for far too long. Is your internal instrument simply out of tune from the noise? This leads us to the mechanism of the dopamine loop. We seek quick hits of energy or distraction because our baseline dopamine is depleted, leaving us in a constant state of craving. Are you trapped in a cycle of seeking but never finding? This depletion creates what scientists call a cortisol plateau. A cortisol plateau means your stress hormones are always high, preventing your body from ever truly entering a state of repair. Is your body stuck in a permanent state of emergency? Understanding this biology is the key to your freedom. When you realize that your struggle is biological and not a personal failure, the shame begins to dissolve into understanding. Can you feel the weight of shame finally leaving your body? Now we are ready to analyze the cycle of setbacks. Our brains are wired to choose the path of least resistance, which is why we often fall back into old patterns when we feel tired or stressed. Why does your mind keep returning to the habits that exhaust you? This leads us into the dangerous all-or-nothing trap. The all-or-nothing trap tells us that if we cannot do everything perfectly, we have failed completely, forcing us back to the very start. Do you feel like one small mistake ruins your entire progress? This cycle is fueled by a very specific type of shame. Shame acts like a heavy anchor, keeping us stuck in the past and preventing the very recovery we are trying so hard to achieve. Is your own self-criticism the biggest obstacle to your healing? But what if we viewed setbacks as valuable information instead? A setback is not a sign of failure, it is a message from your system that your current pace is simply too fast for your resources. Can you start seeing your mistakes as data rather than defeats? To do this, we need a way to measure our energy. We need a new set of tools to navigate our internal world, moving away from force and toward a deep, respectful understanding of our limits. Are you ready to trade your willpower for true internal wisdom? Let us introduce the resource thermometer technique. The resource thermometer is a simple mental tool that helps you check your energy levels before you commit to any new task or demand. How much energy do you actually have in this very moment? First, we must identify the feeling of total depletion. Level 0 is total depletion, where your body feels numb and your mind is completely unable to process even the simplest information. Do you recognize the heavy silence of a system that is empty? At this level, the only valid task is rest. Level 5 is the false peak, where you feel a sudden burst of frantic energy that often leads to a quick and painful crash. Is that sudden burst of energy real, or just another stress response? Between these extremes lies your sustainable green zone. Your green zone is the level where you have enough energy to act without draining your reserves, allowing for a slow and steady growth. What would it feel like to work without exhausting yourself completely? Checking your level takes only a few seconds. Before you say yes to any request, pause for a moment and visualize your thermometer to see if you truly have the space to give. Will you give yourself permission to check your energy first? Now we will learn how to set boundaries with others. Setting a boundary is not an act of aggression, but a necessary circle of protection that allows your soul to heal in peace. Do you feel guilty when you say no to others? True boundaries start with a soft internal yes to yourself. We often fear that others will leave us if we set limits, but those who truly care will respect the space you need to recover. Are you holding on to people who drain your limited energy? Let us look at a case of a total recovery. Consider the story of a high-level manager who lost everything to burnout and had to learn the art of silence from the very beginning. Could you start over if your world completely stopped today? He began with just 5 minutes of morning silence. He did not try to fix his life all at once, instead he focused only on the next 5 minutes of being present with himself. Can you commit to just 5 minutes of true presence? Slowly his internal energy began to return and stabilize. Week by week, the heavy fog lifted, and he discovered a new kind of strength that was not based on pressure, but on peace. What would your life look like if peace was your power? But even in recovery, we must avoid the false start. A false start happens when we feel a little better and immediately try to return to the same pace that broke us before. Are you rushing back to the fire that burned you? To avoid this, we must honor our unique biological pace. Recovery is not a straight line, it is a spiral where we revisit old lessons with more wisdom and more grace than before. Can you forgive yourself for the days you feel stuck? Science shows us that this slow path is actually faster. Research into neuroplasticity confirms that our brains need periods of true stillness to repair the connections damaged by chronic stress. Is your brain rewiring itself every time you choose to rest? This is how we build a system that is truly resilient. Resilience is not about how much you can endure, but how effectively you can return to a state of calm after a storm. Is your current life building your strength or just testing it? Now we will look at the power of micro-habits. Small changes in your daily rhythm create a compounding effect that leads to a profound transformation of your energy over time. What is one tiny thing you can do for yourself today? Let us create your personal plan for the first week. To build long-term stability, we must move away from the pressure of big goals and embrace the quiet power of steady, rhythmic progress. Is your desire for big results actually slowing you down? Let us look at how small habits protect your brain. A tiny habit acts like a protective anchor for your nervous system, providing a sense of safety and predictability in a chaotic world. What if one tiny ritual could be your strongest shield? This is why consistency beats intensity every single time. Intensity drains your reserves and leads to a crash, while consistency builds your capacity to handle life with grace and ease. Are you trying to run a marathon on an empty tank? Scientific data supports this slow and steady approach. Studies show that it takes 66 days on average to form a new neural pathway that functions automatically without effort. Can you give your brain 66 days to truly change? This timeframe allows your system to adapt without stress. When we respect the biological time needed for change, we stop fighting ourselves and start working with our own natural rhythms. What would happen if you stopped fighting your own nature? Now we can design your first week of recovery. Your first week is not about doing, it is about being and observing your energy with kindness and without any judgment. Can you spend 7 days just listening to your body? Day 1 starts with the simple act of noticing. On day 1, simply notice when your heart beats faster or when your breath becomes shallow, and just breathe through it. What is your body trying to tell you right now? By day 3, you will begin to choose silence. By day 3, you will practice choosing 5 minutes of intentional silence at the same time every single day to ground yourself. Is 5 minutes of silence worth the peace of your soul? By day 7, you will feel the first shift. By the end of the first week, you will feel a subtle but real shift from constant survival to a state of quiet presence. Can you feel the quiet strength starting to return? This shift is the foundation of your new life. This new life is built on the understanding that your sensitivity is not a flaw, but your most powerful tool for navigation. Are you ready to view your sensitivity as your superpower? Let us finalize the tools for your journey. You are now equipped with the understanding that true power is not found in the noise of the world, but in the steady rhythm of your own recovery. Can you feel the difference between forced effort and steady power? This journey has prepared you for any future storm. When the next storm of life arrives, you will not break, because you have learned to bend and to protect your inner light with gentle boundaries. Are you ready to face the world with your new boundaries? Remember that your path is unique and valid. Never compare your slow progress to someone else's fast pace, for your path is built on the deep wisdom of your own unique nervous system. Will you honor your own pace above all other demands? The strength you have built is yours to keep forever. This calm strength will become your new baseline, allowing you to live a life that is not just productive, but deeply meaningful and at peace. What will you create now that you have found your peace? Your journey of gradual recovery starts with this breath. Take one last deep breath and step forward into your day, carrying the quiet power of recovery in every single step you take. Are you ready to take that first step with quiet strength? The path is open and you are ready.